Boom, hey internets. This episode of Brandhype, we're talking about Young and Reckless. Let's go. So excited to shoot this episode of Brandhype because I'm a big fan of Drama and what he's done with the brand. So Young and Reckless, at the time that I'm shooting this, and I'm gonna drop it a little bit later, probably a month or so from the time that I'm actually recording. But while I'm recording, 10-year anniversary of the brand, which is a big deal. Many times on this YouTube channel, you'll hear me say that the life expectancy of a brand is right around 5 years. And I come up with that number by talking with other veterans in the game and people who are inside of the industry of apparel. And 5, 6 seems to be the number that we say is how long a brand typically lasts. And I'm talking about once they hit that kind of the multi-million-dollar level and start making noise and start becoming a name that's in the conversation of retail and being bought. So 10 years of Young and Reckless apparel for men's and women's in that category in the same demo, which is extremely competitive, is a huge milestone in the brand. So before I throw up shots of the product, I want to talk about Drama for a little bit. Drama has been a dynamic leader for the brand in multiple ways. I have so much respect for him, and I've learned more about his characteristics and his take on things from his podcast group chat with D. Murphy. I've mentioned him with the Menlo episode of Brandhype, but known D. Murphy for quite some time, and I'm a huge fan of all the things he's doing as well. True entrepreneur, true businessman. And so both of them are a part of group chat, and that podcast covers all kinds of different things. They don't talk exclusively about fashion. They talk about things that are going on in the world in general. And Drama has his own podcast, which I've endorsed many times on this channel. So long story short is Drama's podcast, and he has great people on there. In fact, as I have his Instagram pulled up, he just shot an episode with Dana White. You guys know I'm a huge fan of MMA and the UFC, so that should be an exciting one as well. So both of those are things you should subscribe to and patron. As a leader, I think many individuals wouldn't have made it as far as Drama being put in the exact same situation. In a lot of ways, Young and Reckless, the brand, got its launch off with Drama being a part of Rob Dyrdek's cast in Factory Fantasy and all of the different shows that he executive produced with MTV. So he had that MTV clout with him when he started the brand, and to make the transition when that show no longer exists and then to have longevity from that is extremely difficult to do. This whole channel talks about trying to help you make your brand successful, and apparel and fashion is one of the most difficult things in the world. So when we talk about brands, any of the ones that I feature here or that are just in the lexicon, that are in the conversation, the kind of things that they have to overcome to beat out like 1,000 other brands that are trying to make it is very significant. So I can think in my head of so many celebrity type launched brands that had some sort of clout and wouldn't have maneuvered through past the first 3 or 4 years. So huge kudos to him to be able to become the leader that he needed to be to make it a 10-year standing company. So if we pull up the Instagram for Young and Reckless, by the way, there's also a separate feed for Reckless Girls. That'll be in the descriptions below. But of course, great imagery, moving the product. If you look at it, it's not the same shot or type of shot that's featuring the kind of products that they offer. And speaking of product offering, if we pull up to youngandreckless.com, you're gonna see every single category. Anything that's graphic and printed, I think, is something that they own so well. The visuals are insane in terms of their lifestyle shoots. Everything is super consistent. The flow of the website is particularly really good. So when you hover over images, it gives you different takes on the kind of garment that you're looking at. They were early with the tie-dye and the different colorations. They're so good at offering both clean colorways, something more muted and more mellow for that type of customer, and offering pastels and louder colors that will also cover another type of customer. Quick side note and fun fact, at the last brand where I was the creative director, I dubbed Young and Reckless one of the competitors. Now, it really wasn't a direct competitor because they were really blowing the company out of the water, but let's say it was a reference that we would have, but I officially chose like 5 brands that we would watch very closely. So I would get on the website and the Instagram all the time. So at least once a week with maybe 4 other brands, but we chose Young and Reckless as one that we were kind of chasing after after and had the same demographic as the last brand. So if you will, Young and Reckless was a case study for me directly with one of the last brands. So as always, the links are below, but you can also contribute if you have comments, anything to add, questions, any fashion stuff, please drop it all down below. Like if you like, sub if you love, hit the bell for notifications, and follow me on social media when you guys get a chance. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.